Hello everyone. Hello and welcome to a Facebook Live with Dara Walter of Pickle Peppers Creative Cafe at picklepepperscreativecafe.com. Hello my happy crafty friends. Happy Thursday. Today is Thursday, or as I like to refer to it, it is Friday Eve. And today is April 29th. Thursdays are the day that I come to you for a little bit of crafty. And so here I am. Welcome. I am so happy to be here, and I am so happy that you are here. So let me get set up a little bit. Hi, Anna. I see my friend Anna's watching. Hi, happy Friday Eve. Thank you for being here. Hello, hello, hello. I hope you're ready for a little bit of a sneak peek, because we're going to have a little bit of a sneak peek from the upcoming new annual catalog. So I'll tell you that the stamp set that we're going to be using tonight is from the new annual catalog. So I've been so excited to crack into the new catalog. Let's see. Get myself set up here and chat a little bit while we're waiting for people to find us in the news feed. Okay, how are you? How is everyone? I see my friend Beth is watching. You're ready? Beth, I'm ready. I am so ready. And if I know that many of my customers have already gotten their new catalogs, I was so excited. I was just as excited for you guys to get your catalogs as I was to get mine. I was pleasantly surprised that you got them a little bit early. But what it did for me is let me know that I can sneak and let you see a little bit from the catalog early, because you already have the catalog, right? So if you are wondering what's in the new catalog, if you, like I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, one way to be able to get an early sneak peek of what's in the catalog is to be a demonstrator, because then as a demonstrator, I get to see the catalog more than a month early, and then we're able to order some products from the new catalog a month before it even goes live, so that you have new product in your hand to play with. And I'm always so excited for that. I'm always so excited because crafty people need new crafty stuff, right? So yay. It's almost May, almost new catalog time. So the new catalog actually starts next Tuesday, May 4th. So next week's Facebook Live, I will be here and I'll do a catalog walkthrough. I'll share with you things that I like from the new catalog, what I'm planning to get from the new catalog, things that I don't have already. So we'll have fun. Next week's Facebook Live will be a little more show and tell, ish. So I see my friend Amy is watching. Hi, Amy. Hello. Happy Crafty Thursday. I'm so happy that you guys are here. So let's see. Like I said, tonight we're doing a sneak peek. I'm going to use a product from the new catalog. I'm going to do two simple cards using a new stamp set, a new bundle actually. It's a stamp and die set from the new catalog. So I will show you that to give you just a little taste. And then, yeah, we will have a good time, a fantastic weekend, and then next week we will be back here and we'll do a full catalog reveal. So why don't we go ahead and get turned down? So hold on, you guys, and then we'll just get started. Oh, I did want to say, I can still chat, that if you like tonight's projects, make sure to give me a thumbs up or a heart or whatever you would like to. That makes me really happy. You could share my video so other crafty people can have an opportunity to get crafty themselves. So that's awesome as well. Okay, so, oh, I see my son Jordan is watching. Hi, Jordan. Hi. I'm so glad you're watching. He normally doesn't pop on, so my Jordan is here watching as well. My tech guy is usually here, but not my Jordan. So this is my new catalog. It is the new upcoming catalog. I can show you the cover, but I can't open the catalog and show you what's inside because Stampin' Up! Doesn't allow that. However, next week we will open the catalog and I'm able to show you a little bit more than the cover. But what I am able to do is show you what I am creating with. So that I can do. So let's go ahead and take a look. Hi, Tammy. I see Tammy is here. Hello. Happy Crafty Thursday. Thank you. Yeah, so this is the cover. If you guys haven't seen the cover, I am in love with and obsessed with this that's on the cover. So I will share a little bit of that with you next week as well. But the stamp set that we're going to use, yes, teaser, Amy, you are so right. It is a teaser. I love teasers. The stamp set that we're going to be using tonight from the new catalog is called Color and Contour. If you guys have been around, let's see if I can get rid of the glare a little bit. You know that I like flowers, I like anything nature, and I do like the two-step stamping. And the reason that I like it, I know I've said it probably a million times, but I'll say it again. The reason that I like the two-step stamping is because it goes quickly and you're able to create cards quickly with the two-step stamping because you're not having to color in. Now, that having been said, I do love my Stampin' Blends. I do love coloring when I'm in the mood to color. And coloring obviously affords you the opportunity to use various colors. Like if I wanted to, I could make all three of those flowers a different color. So there are things that you can do with coloring that you can't do. Obviously you can, but with a little more effort on stamping. But when I create cards, mostly I like to do a small grouping of cards, and I don't want it to take me a week to do it. I want to have really cute cards and I want to do them quickly. So I sometimes tend to gravitate towards the two-step stamping, and what that means is that there's an outline like you see here with the flower, and then there's a solid that you can use to color that flower in. So we're going to be doing a little bit of that tonight with a little bit of a twist on it. But anyways, so there is a flower on a stem. There is a flower bud there, and then there is a fully blossomed flower, some leaves, splatter. I love this splatter. I didn't use it tonight, but I am going to for sure. And then really cute sentiments here. So this is the stamp set that we're using. And let's see. We will go ahead and get started with our stamping. So let's get my catalog out of the way. Oh, you love flowers, Tammy? I do too. I love flowers and trees and water and all the things that are nature. I really, really like them. So I've gone ahead like I normally do, and I have left my stamps on the block so they're mounted. So let's start with card number 1. Oh, before we do that, let me share with you, I forgot this stamp set comes as a bundle. So there are die cuts, and look at this deliciousness. Do you see? Let me show you. This is actually what made me choose the bundle. I was in love with the scalloped die cuts. Look at that. And they're nested. I love the nesting dies. And I love shapes. And look at that. Isn't it so cool? And then there's a die here for the flower that's on the stem. And then there's another one for the fully blossomed, fully bloomed flower. But then you have all of the scalloped rectangles. And then I'm not sure if you guys have used like a border die, but I'm going to use this tonight so I can show you how to use it. Why don't we just go ahead and start with it? We'll start with that card and I'll show you how to do it. But yeah, these dies come with the stamp set as a bundle, and I chose the stamp set not for the stamp set, even though I love flowers And I love the two-step stamping. It's actually what made me make a final decision, but the first thing that grabbed me were the dies. So, all right, so let's go ahead and put that aside. And then I wanted to show you how you would cut something like that. So let's bring in the stamp set, or the card that I'm making. So here's the card. Isn't that fun? Isn't that border fun there? So that's what that border die does for you. Super, super simple, but it adds some interest there to the card, and I really like it. So let me show you how I done it though. If you've not used a die like that, here, let me pick a piece of paper. Let's see what looks like you would be able to see it good. Well, here, we'll just use what we had. So I'm going to, let's bring in the paper trimmer. I'm going to go ahead, oh, let's move it. I don't want to get my card dirty. And cut a piece of Designer Series paper. And I have a regular card base here that's 8.5 by 5.5. I folded it in half to create the card base. Me and my crafty friends, when a card folds like this, like a flip up, we called it a rooftop. Doesn't that look like a rooftop? Remember when you were a kid and you drew a house? That's the rooftop. So we call this a rooftop fold. I'm sure it has an actual name, but we call it that because that's what we like to call it. So then the piece of Designer Series paper that I cut is 5.5, because when we fold the card base in half, it's 5.5 by 4.25. So obviously the longer length is the 5.5 side. And then I cut it at 3.5 because I wanted to leave that border so that we could stamp on. Okay, so let's go ahead and cut this at 5.5. No, let's cut it at 3.5. No, let's cut it at 5.5. Indecision. Decisions. Who would think that cutting paper would be a great big decision? Okay, and then we'll go ahead and cut it at 3.5 or 3.75. We're going to cut the end off, so we'll do it at 3.5. So this is what we end up with. Let's go ahead and get the paper trimmer out of the way. So I'm going to grab the die, and what you would do is, if you have washi tape, you would want to use washi tape. I see my friend Marie is watching. Marie, happy Crafty Thursday. Happy Friday Eve. Go ahead and put your piece of paper, cardstock, Designer Series paper, whatever it is that you're using, on the plate for your die cutting machine. And then I'm not going to go right to the bottom, but mostly to the bottom edge there. I'm going to leave about a 1/2 inch border there. And then with washi tape, you're going to want to put, unless you have a magnetic plate. I am not the greatest with magnetic plates. I did get a new magnetic plate to try, but I haven't tried it yet. But I still get movement with the magnetic plates, and I get kind of fussy if it moves and it doesn't cut like I want it to. So I will take a piece of washi tape on both ends to hold it into place so that it cuts exactly where I want it to, and then run it through your die cutting machine, right? The other warning that I have for you is, if you do that method, if you don't have a magnetic cutting plate and you use the washi tape, make sure that even though the washi tape is removable, make sure when you pull it away, you do so slowly and gently, because it may lift some of the pattern from your Designer Series paper, and you don't want that to happen. All right, so that's how I cut that. And this is what I ended up with. There we go. So I did it off of camera so you didn't have to watch me cut. You guys know how I do that. And then we'll go ahead and do our stamping. So I used the full blossom flower. Let's pull this back in so you can see it. And I'll show you how that stamps up. So there are two pieces to it. Oh, I think it's still here, yeah. Let's grab a block or two. I'm going to start out with the outline and a piece of basic white. And because this is a photopolymer stamp, you need a little bit of cushion, remember that. So I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Pierce mat, and then I just have a piece of grid paper on it so that I can spare my my Stampin' Pierce mat, so I can spare it from getting too inky. And then I'll go ahead and I will just stamp one. I'll stamp one of the flowers just to kind of show you how it works. So I'm going to use Bumblebee. And then here's my designer series paper. I am going to stamp this or ink this up full tilt. And for my outline, I'm going to stamp it onto my basic white full tilt. And again, I put it on my Stampin' Pierce mat so that I can get a better stamped image here by adding a little bit of cushion so that stamp can rock. There we go. So there's the outline. And then I'm going to use the same color, and you guys have seen me do this a million times probably. I'm going to use the same color. You could totally, though, you could totally use black for the outline, or you could use early espresso or like a crumb cake if you wanted a lighter outline so you didn't want it to be as stark. One of the things that I like to do is use a fully inked stamp and use the full color of the ink. And then for the filler image, I like to take a little bit of the ink off. So I stamp off once, and it's called second generation. So I like to do that a lot. I'm a fan of that. And then just to point out to you, usually when I'm doing two-step stamping like this, you have to line it up loosely. I like when it's a very artistic look like this, because then you don't really have to be 100% precise. Can you see what I mean there? You don't have to be 100% precise, but you do kind of want it in the neighborhood. So I'm going to ink up. I'll take away some of the excess, and then I'm going to look for a landmark. For me, it's, let me show you. So here's the full flower, but I have identified these two petals that are touching each other, or like this petal, which has the dip in it. So I look for something roughly like that, and the easiest thing for me were the two petals that were touching each other. So that kind of gives me an idea of where I want to stamp it, and then loosely I will line it up and stamp it down. So did you see me take away the excess there? There we go. And then there's our flower. Yay, isn't it cute? And the yellow, I'm loving it. That color is Bumblebee. It is one of our current in colors. So I've already gone ahead and run it through the die cutting machine so that you didn't have to watch me do that on camera. And I have my two flowers here already cut out. So this is a really, really simple card. Let's go ahead and move our Stampin' Pierce mat. For now, set it aside here. And these are the only pieces for this card and a couple of embellishments, right? So I've gone ahead and scored our card in the center. You guys know that I'm really big on scoring or burnishing the edges so that we get a really flat, crisp edge. and then we'll go ahead and build our card. So let's add some adhesive. And then I'm just going to layer this right against the edge there. How are we doing? Can we see that? Layer it right against the edge there. I probably could have stamped beforehand, but because there's nothing on the bottom edge of the card, and that's where we're going to stamp, I'm okay with stamping it afterwards. So the sentiment that I'm going to use is the one that says, you're absolutely amazing, because you guys are absolutely amazing. I like that sentiment. I'm going to go ahead and ink up using black Memento. And then on the bottom, as my card is facing me, on the bottom right corner, I will add my sentiment. So other than the flower, that's the majority of our stamping. Next, I'm going to attach one of the flowers flat against the card, so I'm not using any dimension, but you guys know me. There is going to be some dimension somewhere, so we're going to do it with one of the flowers. So to the left, I'm going to attach or adhere the flower flat, and then the other flower, I'll just grab a Stampin' Dimensional. We'll stick it right in the center. I'll overlap it just a little bit, my first flower. Let's see, kind of like that. And then if you guys have seen, I'm not sure if these are going away, but they may be. They are called the Opal Rounds. I don't think they're going away, but don't quote me 100% on that. But they're kind of iridescent, and I use them for the center of the flower. So I'm going to go ahead and grab a couple of those, adhere it to the center of the flower. And then other than the sentiment on the inside of the flower, or of the card, we are done. There it is, easy peasy. Doesn't that scalloped edge add some fun to the card? I like it. You know what you could probably do is, if you did it on both sides, you could move that to the center and then turn your card like this and put the sentiment there. So super simple and super fun. So that is card number 1. Okay, so let's get our supplies ready for card number 2. And we have a card base that, again, is 8.5 by 5.5, scored in the middle at 4 1/4. Our standard card base. We have a piece of basic white cardstock that is 5 1/4 by 4. We have a piece of designer series paper that is 5 1/4 by 4. I am missing a die cut. I think it's across the table. Hold on. I'll grab it. I have a granny apple die cut, and this is a rectangle from the scallop rectangles that we have here. And then I have a basic white scallop from our die cuts that we have there. So those are the pieces for this card, and this is the final card. There we go. Isn't that cute? I love this card. And let's see, the light isn't catching the bling, so it doesn't look for you as much as I can tell as it does for me, but the bling is really making it pop. I'm loving it. You guys know how I feel about bling. But I wanted to show you the scallop die cuts. And then look closely, I actually stamped the stem with Granny Apple Green, because that's what I have here, and then Flirty Flamingo to fill it in. So that's a little bit fun, and it's a little bit of a twist instead of using the black. Yes, isn't that cute, Anna? The Flirty Flamingo and the Granny Apple Green, it's really popping. I like it. I didn't know that I would until I put it together like that. So All right, so super simple. I've gone ahead and made my die cuts off camera. And then the extra piece of basic white is for the inside of the card. So let's go ahead and get started by folding and burnishing our card base. There we go. If you don't have a bone folder, you need a bone folder. Bone folders, look at how loved my bone folder is. The Stampin' Up! Is gone from the end of it. I use it quite a bit. All right, so super simple. We'll start by layering, and we're going to add our designer series paper right to the front of the card. Super simple. And then you guys know my unofficial, official measuring eyeballing tool. I don't know what to call it, but yeah. There we go. And then I'm going to go ahead and do my stamping now, and I'm going to stamp a little bit on the inside mat as well. So let's start with the Granny Apple Green. Oh my gosh, did I throw away the wrong inks? I did. Let's start with our Granny Apple Green. And then again, I'm using the flower with the stem. So let's ink it up. I like to ink upside down because then I can kind of tell where the ink is going. I can tell if I've touched every area of the surface of the stamp. So I like to do it upside down as opposed to taking my stamp and tapping it on the ink pad. Although I do that, my preferred method is upside down. And then I'm going to go ahead and stamp this down, barely going off the edge with the leaf, but I'm going to stamp it on the left edge of my die cut there. And I don't mind if the leaf goes off a little bit, but I want to make sure all of the flowers are on the die cut. So let's go ahead and do that. And I want it extremely to the left like that because I want to leave room towards the right to stamp my sentiment. So like that. It's kind of what we have there. And then I'm going to bring in the background or the filler stamp, and I'm going to stamp that with Flirty Flamingo. So like Anna, I love these colors together. I never thought of putting the Flirty Flamingo together with the Granny Apple Green, but it is working. I like it. I think it's a great color combination. And then again, I'm just going to kind of hover over to line this up, but I am so okay with it not being exact. I kind of like it skewed like that. And then it kind of looks like you bought it or you intended it to be that way, right? So there's that. And then let's bring in the sentiment, which the sentiment I'm using for this one says, "So very happy for you." And in this open place in the corner here, that's where I'm going to stamp it using black Memento. So let's go ahead and ink up our stamp and then stamp it right in that blank space. Okay. Ooh, it's like magic. It makes me go, ooh, ah, even though I've done it already. So there is the inside. So let's go ahead and make a little room now. Let's bring our card base back in. And we'll just layer it like that. Oh, we weren't done with the stamping. I told you I did a little bit of stamping on the inside. So this 5 1/4 by 4 mat is for the inside. And there's a little tiny, remember I showed you there was a little tiny flower bud. So I'm just going to ink that up with the black Memento and stamp it on one of the corners. And I like it on the inside corner. I don't know why. That's where I want it to be. So that's where I'm going to put it. Because when you are stamping, Your creation is whatever you want or need it to be. All right, so let's go ahead and get these layered up. We'll add some embellishments, and then we're done. All right, so this layer is attached to the Granny Apple Green rectangle with Stampin' Dimensionals. So I'm just gonna put one in each corner. 2, 3, and 4. Another thing that you need to have in your stash all the time, Stampin' Dimensionals. These are great, great, great. I use them all the time because that subtle lifting does amazing things for your card. It takes a card that is wow, and it makes it wow. So I use them quite a bit. That little bit of elevation does wonders. I love it. And it also allows you to add ribbon and other things between the layers with a little more ease. And then this layer we're going to put flat right in the center of the card. And then to embellish it, I have the champagne rhinestones. So I don't know if you guys have these, but they're kind of a pinkish tone, and I like them. And on this card, they are really sparkling. I like them, like them, like them. Okay, so I'll just grab some and kind of sprinkle them wherever I think they look good. Kind of in the spaces where there are openings. That is kind of what I tend to do. Let's put this a little towards the inside, and then we'll grab one more and put it here. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. And then finally, we'll open our card, because whenever you have a darker card, you don't have to, but it's nice to finish it off by adding a matte on the inside. So for you guys that have your catalogs already, do you have a wish list going? Do you have a list of all the things that you just feel that you can't live without? I don't know about you, but I shop from a wish list. So I normally make my wish list and I put every single thing on my wish list that I even remotely think that I want. And then I start eliminating when it's time to shop within my budget. So if I'm going to spend $100, I'll take away things from the list until my shopping cart gets to within my budget. And then I buy that. And then the process repeats itself, right? With the remaining items on the list. So yeah, so I have a wish list started already. So here we are. Here is our finished card. Once again, I don't know if you can see the bling, but I think this card is so cute. And I like just the little bit of something on the inside. It's like you haven't forgotten about it. I didn't put a sentiment on the inside yet, because I don't know what I want this card, like I don't know what theme I want it to be, so I'm going to leave it blank. So there we have it. So here is card number 2. Let's go ahead and bring in card number 1 again. 2 simple stamping cards that are easy to recreate, but I think they're so cute. And you actually got to see new product in use from our new annual catalog that goes live next Tuesday. And so don't forget a couple of things. There are only a few days left. If you have any of your favorites that may be retiring, there's only a few days left then to shop for those things. So don't forget that. And then the new catalog starts next Tuesday, May 4th. Let's go ahead and bring you up so we can say goodnight. Hello. I'm back, I'm back, I'm back. You guys, I'm so paranoid for dropping you. I don't want to drop you like I did that one time. I want to drop you. So the new catalog starts next Tuesday, May the 4th. So next week when I come for my Crafty Facebook Live, it's going to be kind of a reveal. We'll skim through the catalog a little bit. We'll make a project, or probably a project, because I'll have some projects that are prepared ahead of time that I will be sharing with you. So we'll do that too. So I hope you enjoyed tonight's projects. If you want to recreate them, remember that I will put the dimensions in the description above so that you can make them if you would like to. And then I will also put a link to my online store. I will put the host code up if you need to shop, or if you need anything, or if you just want to browse and get ideas, look through the catalog and just see what's out there to get your creative mojo going. So, hi, I see my cousin who is like my big sister is here. Hi. Thank you so much for stopping by. That's a big heart, big heart. I'm so glad you could stop by and watch. Yeah, so once again, I'll modify the description above. So if you need anything in between time, reach out. And otherwise, I will actually see you next week on Thursday, same place, same time, and I'll have lots to show you then. So have a fantastic weekend, you guys. Thank you so much for being here and for allowing me to share with you. It's the highlight of my week. I tell you all the time. Thank you, guys. Have a great weekend. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.